Literally excuse your own needs because every other person's needs seems more important. So even if you want to, it almost feels selfish. It almost feels like you are rebelling. There is this term called parentification. If you've not heard of that before, it's simply when the responsibility of an adult is placed on a child, where a child becomes an adult early. And I know that's what sounds familiar, especially if you're a first daughter from a humble background in literally anywhere in the world. I believe that it is very, very common from where I come from, which is West Africa. The first daughter tends to the needs of others. The child is trained to become responsible at a very young age. You have this mighty, gigantic expectations laid out for you, and you accept it because you don't really have a choice. You take care of everyone's need. It's just basically having all these responsibilities on your shoulders just because you're the first. Just because you are the oldest. You are not allowed to make mistakes because you should know better even as a child. And when you're in this space, you don't even have the space to think for yourself. There are other things you feel are more important than paying close attention to your own needs, to your own desires, to your own emotions, to your own self. You literally excuse your own needs because every other person's needs seems more important. So even if you want to, it almost feels selfish. It almost feels like you are rebelling. But what is actually happening that you are not aware of is how you are losing yourself. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to not even be aware that you're losing. Because as a result of all of this, you come to realize that you didn't just lose time, you've lost yourself, your sense of worth, your preferences, what you actually want for yourself, the kind of life you actually want to live, who you actually are. Because every single time they will say, oh my God, you're so mature, you're so responsible, oh, such a very strong girl. And you get so used to hearing that you don't even realize what is this costing you. You don't even realize that you are losing yourself. You think you're being humble. You are losing a lot. When was the last time you did something genuinely for yourself? Without thinking of anybody, not for your family, not for your responsibilities. For me, it's not that I did not know that I'm as important as everyone else. But like I said, it's just that there was no space in my head to think of me. I thought that was what gave me relevance. I thought I was just being responsible. Little did I know that I was losing. So if you don't have an answer, that should tell you that what I'm saying is the truth. If you're not giving yourself the amount of love and care and everything that you're giving to everyone else, you are not being humble. You are losing yourself. The second thing I need you to know is that you have to squeeze space for yourself to find yourself. You have to create space for yourself. In other words, your environment is very, very important. Your environment plays a huge, huge part when it comes to finding yourself. Your environment matters a lot. Take for an instance, have you ever been around nature? You've just like maybe taken a walk where there's a lot of trees and a lot of nature around. You know that feeling. I took a walk the other day, and when I tell you what that did to me, I felt so much peace. Another good example is a certain environment you find yourself and you feel very, very uncomfortable. The energy is off. You don't just want to be there because probably the environment is not for you. There's a way you feel when you're in church. There's a way you feel when you're in certain places that you should not be. You know? So your environment is very, very important. For me, I started seeing myself properly when I changed my environment. That was when, in fact, I saw myself for the first time. I began to learn about me. I began to study me. It was like, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was equal parts of confusing and peaceful, where I thought I knew who I was. But when you are in this space where it's just you begin to realize that most of the things you've thought about yourself, most of the things you think are your thing, they're not really your thing. I'm telling you, It's such a strange place to be, but trust me, it is worth it. Until you intentionally squeeze out that space for you, you may never really be able to find yourself, because all of a sudden your own opinions start emerging. You start seeing yourself for who you truly are. You start realizing that all your life you've been performing for your environment. That person is not you. I'm telling you, this is my own personal experience, by the way. But that one decision changed everything for me. So if you don't want to lose yourself in the process of all of this, you have to make out time for yourself. If you cannot afford to change your environment, you cannot afford to move, it can be something as small as having, even if it's just 1 hour in a day for you, lock your door, be selfish with your time in a healthy way. Don't allow anybody rip you off that. I'm telling you. Yes, I'm giving you bad advice today. Be selfish. Take out some time just for you. Don't attend to anybody's needs. Don't do anything for anybody. Just for 1 hour every day. It can be taking yourself out alone, by yourself. It can be saying no to one thing, just one thing that drains you in a week. Insist on avoiding that one thing this week. You can start this week. I'm telling you, this will shift things. This will change your life. You can definitely make out time for you, even in a full house. You just have to be selfish enough. You're not being rebellious. I'm telling you now, you will look like, she's not doing too much. Whatever, let them talk. But within that time, do something for you. If it's journaling, journal, praying, whatever it is that you know brings you peace, brings you comfort, give that to yourself and don't allow anybody talk you out of it. You don't have to have a new address. You don't have to be in another country or do something drastic. If you can do that, by all means, please do it. I'm telling you, it will change your life. But if you cannot do that, these are other things that you can do. Do it. Create that space for you and be intentional about it, because this is how you will find yourself. And honestly, if you cannot afford to change your environment in the sense of moving out or doing something of that nature, do not force it. One thing I really want to encourage you is to prioritize God in your life. If you read the Bible, you see how intentional God is with first children. I'm not saying that other kids are not important, but I'm saying that one thing that you cannot afford to sabotage is your relationship with God. And I'm saying this because if you are not in alignment with God, you can make decisions out of frustration. You can make decisions out of anger, and it will land you in situations and places that you have no business being in. I know that most times you can be really, really tempted to want to just do something drastic because it's like you've had it up to here. But I really, really encourage you to not let your emotions control you. And the only way you can do that successfully is having a serious relationship with God, because trust me, there is such thing as alignment. God would always guide you, even if it is time for you to move. Because trust me, the Bible says there is a time for everything. Most of the major decisions I've made in my life, I was never ready or prepared for them. Like literally. I just hear the voice of God telling me, okay, this is what we are doing this season, and I am on it. And it looks crazy from the outside. It's like, is this girl okay? Is she drinking something? But like, I know that I heard the voice of God. So don't make decisions out of a place of your emotions, out of all the things you've been bottling up, out of frustrations and whatnot, because trust me, God is not moved by our emotions, okay? Even as a child of God, you can make bad decisions that will land you in serious trouble. Okay, so you have to make sure that even if you want to make a major decision of moving or anything, that you are actually hearing from God, that you're actually hearing Him. You are in a relationship with God, because I'm telling you, He's the only one that will make this journey easy for you. But if that is not the case for you, even in that space, you can make out time for yourself. You just have to be intentional enough. There's a reason why the Bible said the violence will take it by force. They will not give you that time. Even when you're trying to make out time for yourself, they'll be like, oh, I don't know this one you're doing, oh, you have not eaten in this house, oh, you understand? So you have to insist and say, no, I don't care. This is a me time. You have to be that rugged. You have to insist, because once you start doing that, for the first time, you start seeing yourself, and that first meeting with yourself can literally change everything or start changing everything. The third and most important thing I needed to take out of all of this today is that showing up for yourself is not selfishness. I feel like I've said this somewhere in between the other two, but I want to emphasize on this. Showing up for yourself is not selfishness. It is a sign of faith. It is a sign of love and respect for yourself. And when I talk about showing up for yourself, I don't just mean appearance alone, because most times when people start talking about showing up for themselves, you see them going to the gym, trying to buy outfits, trying to change your entire wardrobe, doing all of those things. I'm not saying that those are not important. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. There is a space for that, but hear me out. Appearance is not just physical. If you're not confident from within, I'm saying this because I've been there, done that, yep, where you try to mask your pain with fast glow up. It doesn't take time before it just messes you up. I think I mentioned something like that in my previous video. It comes from within. You can wear the most expensive outfit, the most expensive perfume, the most expensive shoes, look as stylish as whatever, do all of that, have the most amazing body, and something will still be missing. People around you can perceive it. You know that something is missing. You just feel empty on the inside. That's because that's not where you start. The inner work is much more important. You've been through so much. You've gotten so used to carrying a lot of weight. There's a lot of unpacking that needs to be done from the inside. It is actually your inside that will carry your outside. For instance, remember this particular day, oh my God, I wore this very beautiful dress, and that day I knew that I looked good. When you just know that, at the dress, you just know that you look good. This was way back, okay? And I remember I just came out of the train station, and this lady looked at me and she was like, hey, stand straight, smile, raise your head. You are so beautiful. Why are you looking so gloomy? I did not know, but she noticed it, she perceived it. So these things, they show. Again, the work needs to start from the inside. Start sitting with your thoughts, start getting to know yourself. You can start reading books. I do self-help books, but honestly, I do Christian fictions too. That just books kind of have a way of opening your mind, Start reading books that help you become a better person, build better habits, build discipline, stuff like that. Just hearing someone else's experience or how someone else perceives the world or seeing someone else's point of view in general, it's literally so amazing. You can start by speaking to a therapist if you can afford it, or someone that you trust if you cannot afford it. There's always something there. Or if you're in school, even better, you can speak to your counselor. So that is where you start from. Then you can now start working outward. What actually works for your body type, not what they forced on you. It doesn't have to be expensive. Trust me, you can literally wear a $1 dress, but because it is for you, it is your style, there's a way you will carry yourself in that dress. Even the person that is wearing $90 or $100 outfits cannot compare. I remember I went from just wearing anything that comes across my path, not really paying much attention to myself because, everybody will be alright. But the minute I started paying attention to myself from the inside, oh my God, sometimes it's not even the outfit, it's just the vibe, because a lot of things have shifted in my mind. I'm becoming more confident in myself because I'm beginning to see myself, I'm beginning to understand myself, I'm beginning to get to know myself. So it comes from, and then all of a sudden you walk into rooms, you're no longer as intimidated as you used to be. It's a work in process. It's a work in progress. It does not happen overnight, but you just see the change. Because I started seeing myself differently, I started to carry myself differently, and the world started receiving me differently. So please, I'm begging you, if nobody has said this to you before, or if anybody made you feel like taking care of yourself is vain, especially as Christians, please do not listen to them. These are people trying to dim your light. These are people trying to keep you small. And the God that I know, the God that you and I serve, does not want you to be small. There's a reason he gave you this beautiful body. There's a reason he said you are beautifully and wonderfully made. He expects you to take care of it from the inside out. He expects you to steward this body. Nobody can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. You have to show yourself love. You have to show yourself care. Every other love or care is just an add-on. The one you show yourself is what actually makes the difference. So showing up for yourself is a sign that you respect yourself. And if you want to be respected, you have to show that you respect yourself by how you carry yourself, by how you tend to your body. Another thing is that there are doors, honestly, that these things can open. I'm telling you, it might sound a bit controversial. Trust me, prayers are very important. But I'm telling you that these can literally open doors for you. Some of your prayers have long been answered. You're not just paying attention. God is saying, hey, you are looking outside. The problem is inside. If you work on the inside, the outside will be taken care of. You have spent so much time, so much energy pouring into everyone else. I'm encouraging you to do that same thing for yourself. Give yourself that same grace. Don't miss out on all this love that you have to offer. Show yourself that same care, not out of anger, not out of frustration, but out of a powerful place of just understanding that you are worth it as well. So, I hope this blessed you. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, leave your comments in the comment section. I want to hear your opinions. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next episode.